So, good day everyone. So, as promised, I will be discussing to you the solutions from our assignment which was given last time. So, we have here our first problem. We have a P company acquired the net assets of S company on August 1, 2017. The carrying and fair value of S company's net assets at the date of acquisition follows. So we are given here the net assets of S company, which is shown at its carrying value as well as with its corresponding fair value. So I will be skipping this part since I'm assuming I'll be skipping to read this part since I'm assuming that you have already read this since this was already given as an assignment. So, in addition to the purchase consideration, P had an out-of-pocket cost of 8,520 for direct acquisition cost, 2,000 for issuing and registering the shares, and 1,500 indirect cost. So we are asked with these three questions. So first, how much is the total cost of consideration? How much would be the fair value of the net assets acquired from S? And as well as the goodwill. So first, let us answer how much is the total cost of consideration. So we are going to base it from this information given. So first, there's a 50,000 P issued 50,000 1 peso per shares of P. Fair value is at 1.50 at August 1, 2017. So we are going to use the fair value of the shares. So we have here a shares. We're going to multiply 50,000 shares by 1.50 pesos. So that would give us 75,000. Next, P agreed to pay additional cash consideration for the value of any decrease in the share price below 1.50 for the 50,000 share issued. The guarantee is for 90 days and is to expire on October 30, 2017. P believes there is only 15% chance that the price of the share would fall to 1.45, and this is certain to happen during the guarantee period. So we have here the additional consideration to be given by P in cases nga mas maubos pa ang price sa share. So, additional cash consideration. So, how are we going to treat that? First, we are going to deduct 1.50 by 1.45 and then multiply it by our number of shares, which is 50,000. And then, we are again to multiply it by 15% since there is a 15% chance na mas maubos jud ang price sa share. So that would give us a total of 375 pesos. Next, P paid a cash of 80,000 pesos. 30,000 was paid on the date of exchange and the balance to be paid in 1 year's time. So we have a cash consideration now of 80,000, which is 30,000 kay gibayad on the date of exchange. So we have the 30,000 cash paid at the date of exchange, that will be 30,000. Next, ang balance now is to be paid in 1 year's time. We are given with the incremental borrowing rate of 10% per annum. So we will going to use the present value factor of this amount. So it would be let's just say the balance. So the balance would be 50,000 since 30,000 is nabayad naman. So 80,000 minus 30,000, so we have a balance of 50,000, and then we're going to multiply it with the borrowing rate or the present value factor. So we are here the formula 80,000 minus 30,000 times the present value factor with the 10% per annum. So the total would be 45,455. And the next, as was currently being sued by an enraged client, sorry about that, the company's lawyers believe there's a 90% chance it will win the case. So in this one, since wala may kanang consideration gihatag sa P, so we're going to disregard this scenario. So next, we're going to proceed to E. So P gave a consideration in the form of the delivery van, which has a carrying value of 150,000 net of accumulated depreciation and the fair value of 100,000. So again, we're going to use the fair value amount. So that would be the delivery van at fair value of 100,000. So we are going to add everything up to come up with the total cost of consideration that P gave in exchange for the net assets of the subsidiary. So that would give us 250,830. Next, we are asked how much should be the fair value of the net assets acquired from S. So simple, we are just going to add all assets and deduct all liabilities to come up with the fair value net assets. So we are going to add all assets, that would be cash, AR, everything here. Again, we're going to use the fair value amount. Then we're going to deduct all liabilities, as well as observe in letter D, there is a contingent liability which has a provisional amount of 10% from the expected damages of 30,000. So here, add all assets, then deduct all liabilities as well as the contingent liability na 3,000. So lastly, we are asked to compute, that will give us a total of 232,000. So 232,000 is the total fair value net assets of our subsidiary, which is S company. So next, we're asked to compute for goodwill. So goodwill is derived when the consideration given is bigger than what was acquired. So mas dako daw ang gibayad kaysa sa nakuha nga kanang net assets from subsidiary. So we have a cost of consideration of, that would be 250,830 here from our answer from letter A, and then deduct the fair value net assets of our subsidiary of 232,000. So that would give us a goodwill of there's a goodwill of 18,830. So again, the total cost of consideration is 250,830. Then total net assets of subsidiary, just add all assets and deduct all liabilities, then that would give us the total fair value net assets of 232,000. And lastly, to compute for goodwill, we are going to deduct fair value net assets of subsidiary from the consideration given to acquire the assets. So that would be 18,830 pesos. So that's it for our problem number 1. We are going to proceed with the next problem. By the way, I will be discussing the next problem on our next video na. So thank you everyone, and see you on our next discussion.